Unscripted. KSU. Quick, tactical conversations from the heart of the powersports industry. In this business, time is torque. So hit the ignition, twist the throttle, and let's fire it up.
Mark Sheffield, we're at episode 10. I can't believe we've done 10 of these already, but it's been a blast doing it. I thought a state of the industry episode would be good. Where are things at? What have we seen in the news lately? What are the next couple months of the end of the year looking like, and maybe the beginning of next year, and just a state of the industry and some big news stories. So with that, I'll kick off the pod clock. First and foremost, big in the F&I finance and insurance space, Protective Life Corp acquired Portfolio Holding. This is big, huge news. Portfolio specializes in reinsurance, and both companies have a huge footprint in the automotive, RV, marine, and powersports space. So it's been big news a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if you want to go into much detail about it. It's going to expand both of their offerings. I think all their dealers are going to see an increase in maybe touch points from those companies, and they'll have access to each other's product offerings. So it was huge news on the F&I side. Anyway, anything to add there?
I just started to see a lot of, new companies that are entering into the powersports F&I space. I think, there's a lot of offerings in the automotive, and when you look at the price of some of the products that we're selling these days, I mean, $40,000, $50,000 UTVs, there's probably as much opportunity in F&I for them as there is for autos. So probably just the expansion that we should have had years ago.
Yeah. Next, some Lightspeed news. I saw Lightspeed now has a Priority 1 integration, which is going to allow the DMS to pre-populate financing apps with customers' info from Lightspeed. It's going to streamline the finance process. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know how that didn't exist in this space. We see it on the automotive side within the DMS, but I thought that was some pretty cool news. Thoughts there?
I would say that Lightspeed has been doing a lot of work lately on new features, new pieces that are coming out. Their multi-location functionality in Lightspeed, been testing that at one big dealer group, and we'd be amazed at how much time you can save in getting all that set up over the way that dealers have done things in the past, from transferring parts between locations and transferring units between locations, streamlining that accounting process. And there's a lot more that's coming down that front. I'm actually heading out to see the Lightspeed guys hopefully next month and sit down, kind of look at some of the development calendar and see what's coming down the pipeline. Maybe give my 2 cents on where I think some of that focus should be. I'm pretty happy with what Lightspeed's doing lately.
Awesome. Good feedback. Look forward to hearing how that trip goes and some of the exciting stuff coming. Vision AST, we did a study this year. What's been hot and heavy in conversations I've been having with powersports dealers is the use and utilization of a digital F&I menu, digital F&I presentation tool. We did a study, and we're seeing dealers' back-end profitability increase about 18% from dealers utilizing a digital menu to dealers that do not utilize them. Maybe they do a traditional paper menu or a different form of presentation. I thought that was pretty huge. Just the sheer fact of them utilizing an iPad or a digital presentation, gamifying the experience. I think that's a cool feature within a lot of these customers, right? It's the younger generation of customers buying new toys, and they can have that gamify experience and drag and drop and pick their products. 18% profitability increase from dealers utilizing to not utilizing. Any feedback, or what's your take there?
You're really just talking about the F&I menu. So you've got companies like One Dealer Lane that are coming out with a more all-encompassing, taking the customer from, when we first select a unit and put pricing on it all the way to the back end here of F&I. So do you think that evolution is going to continue?
I think so. I think we've seen a lot on the automotive side, I have personally. So I think it's going to continue to get more robust, and it's going to be more integrated throughout the entire customer life cycle. of a customer coming into the store and from their website to into the store and what they're purchasing on the F&I side, and then even to the back end, the parts and service department. I think it's going to continue to expand. Absolutely.
I had heard on the automotive side that when more of those digital tools came out, that there was kind of early days, there was a pretty big increase in production in F&I, but it slowly started to taper off. And it seems like now, I mean, we went and bought a new car a couple of weeks ago, and it was a good mix of the individual F&I person and the technology that they had as well. And so I think that while there's a lot of concerns that maybe all the technology is going to take away opportunities for people, I think that the best dealers are going to have to find a way to mix the both.
Yeah, I agree. But I think you can take a maybe not so good F&I manager and producer and give them some technology and see a quick turnaround. I think you can see some, within 30 to 60 days just by, offering 100% of your products to 100% of your customers 100% of the time. Just do that. That one simple tool, not so good F&I manager that currently doesn't do that, but has a tool to then do that to every single customer, walk into their office. You're going to see numbers uptick just from that. I think that paired with what I'm partnered with a lot is good F&I agents and income development specialists, right? There's some good ones out there and there's some not good ones out there. And truly being a partner to their stores and coming in there weekly, having calls weekly with their producers and F&I managers and going over the reinsurance position and training and developing and being a partner to their stores. I think that's another added piece and an added value in partnering with a good provider.
There's a lot of money that's on the table there. So if you're partnered with somebody on F&I and they're not really helping you, not measuring, not sending somebody in, and probably not the best partnership.
That's right. I 100% agree there. Let's see here. Harley-Davidson Q3 numbers. What are we seeing?
I think one of the dealers that I work with said it best when he goes, we're optimistic that things are going to get better because we know they can't get any worse. Optimism with the Harley dealer group today. Damn clock. Never going to make it. Optimism with the dealers, I'd say, has been an all-time low. I would say it was an interesting quote that made it out online a few weeks ago when somebody asked a dealer, I said, what percentage of the Harley dealers that are out there do you think are happy that the old CEO is gone and the new CEO is coming? And he said 100%. So not going to vary from that one bit. But dealers do seem to have had a good read on Artie, the new HD CEO. And would love to get the opportunity to sit down and talk to him at some point in time just to kind of see what he's learned in the last couple of months. But I think all things are pointing to a positive direction from Harley-Davidson, although dealers are going to have to make it through a really tough winter. And it looks like we're going to lose some more dealers during the winter this year.
I saw that the NPA CEO, Jim Woodruff, I think I pronounced that right, he presented at NPDA Dealer Connect a couple weeks ago, and he said that he presented new sales for Harley was down 19% year over year. Thought that was this is a big number. So I think it's only up from here, hopefully. Yeah, pretty big. Also, what Jim said is new unit sales for motorcycles and ATVs combined were down 7.6%. New unit sales down 7% year over year. But he had some optimism from what I saw. He said, hey, listen, the numbers are higher than they were pre-COVID, 2019. COVID was an anomaly, and he's optimistic about the future. I don't know if you share the same sentiment, or what are your thoughts there?
I think next year's probably going to be more the same of what we've had this year. Maybe not the downs and the volatility. I'm not expecting to see a lot of growth in the industry next year. I haven't put my final number on that. I think when I came into this year, I had said I felt like the industry was going to be down about 8 to 10%. I think we're going to be spot on that. I did predict that we were going to lose about 400 dealers this year, and I think I was over optimistic on that. Under optimistic, however you want to look at it. I think in the end, we probably would have lost about 200 rooftops in the industry this year. But all in all, when you look at dealer profitability, the majority of dealers that are out there are equal to or a little bit better with revenues top line than they were prior to the pandemic. And especially for the top 20% of dealers, profitability remains pretty strong compared to pre-pandemic times. And then cool news from NPA as well. At EICMA, they just announced that they're going to open their first auction facility out in Europe. So not exactly sure where that's going to be, that it's going to be a little bit different than here, probably more digital as they get their footing and figure out how it works. But kind of cool news for MPA to see them expanding outside of America.
That's very cool. Let's see here. Any new models or lineups that you're particularly excited about? Or
Talked to a lot of dealers in the last couple of weeks. The new Defender HD11 is coming out of the gate swinging hard. Dealers have been doing really, really well with that. It's incredible vehicle. Salespeople have been happy with it. Definitely a lot quieter, more powerful than it was. Fit and finish is really starting to improve and kind of meet the demands of customers who are spending $30,000, $40,000 on a vehicle. So I think that's going to continue to be good. And most of the dealers that I'm talking to are selling those pretty much as soon as they come in. So there's no oversupply right now. It should be at a hold margin. Yamaha just opened up their order program a couple of days ago. People I've talked to say that the allocations are pretty strong. And I think that Yamaha's ability to sell units over the last couple of years has really been constrained more by supply than demand. And so now that we're actually getting some additional Yamaha units, I think that's going to bode well for the industry, especially for Yamaha dealers. The 40th, 50th, 70th, can't remember what anniversary they're currently celebrating, but the anniversary edition units in the red and white and some of the other colors look really, really good and are selling well. Allocations are up for the new R9, which I think is going to continue to be a top seller in the marketplace. The CF Moto 675 SS, a lot of dealers are now sold out of that. So 3-cylinder 675 sport bike, great for the entry level, maybe second motorcycle for somebody buyer. Still pretty affordable on insurance. And so a lot of dealers are looking forward to the 2026 model coming out just because they don't have any on the floor. And then starting to see a little bit of headway with the Polaris Expedition. It's kind of a unique unit. I think it came out of the gate with some flaws. Engine noise, definitely one of them. Offset a lot of people, but the Expedition North Star, really nicely made machine, and starting to see that unit pick up some steam.
very cool. Yeah, a bunch of exciting new models coming out. Let's see here, a couple rapid fire ones. Industry events coming up, fast approaching as we know, beginning of the year, earlier than they are normally, but AIM Expo, the 7th through the 9th in Anaheim. Mark and I will actually be speaking there, so hope to see and meet everyone there. We're doing a service segment on the 8th at 10 a.m. somewhere, so promo video to follow soon. And then Accelerate Conference is a couple weeks after, January 18th through the 20th in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. So a couple events coming up, fast approaching. What do you think about the new Indian CEO?
I think it's going to be good. You know, there was a lot of concern about Polaris carving off that division. I've been asked my opinion on it. And I think that Mike Kennedy was kind of looking for his last act in the industry. And I don't think that he would have taken on the role if he thought that they were just going to extract all that was good out of the Indian business and leave a husk. So I think that he's doing it because he thinks that it can be good, and because he thinks it can be good, I think it's going to be good as well. So, you know, scale of 1 to 100, I think 65% that in a few years, Indian is a better company than it is today.
Awesome. We'll come back in a few years and talk about it and see if you're right.
What episode would that be?
That's going to be episode 563 probably, so stay tuned.
All right.
Lastly, Polaris Q3 sales were up 7%. What's your take on that, or any more specifics you want to drill into there?
You know, I didn't have time to deep dive into their earnings call and kind of see, you know, what segments were up, what were down, and, you know, what, if any of that rise was related to, you know, offloading Indian, if there was any financial benefit of that. But, you know, talking to dealers, it sounds like inventory has cleaned up a little bit in the field at this point in time. New models seem to be selling well, and we've already started to see some promos and rebates on 2026 models, which we weren't sure that we were going to see this early on. And so I think that that's going to continue to help retail. I mean, still kind of crazy, all this good news that you're hearing. And there is a possibility that when we get to the end of the year, that Polaris may not make any money this year. So when you look at, you know, how much money they were churning off just a couple of years ago, kind of on the back end of the pandemic, it's been a a roller coaster ride for those guys, and going to be interested to see what they can pull out of the hat for 26.
Great. We're out of time. We're out of time a long time ago, actually. The pod clock spoke and we didn't listen. Maybe we should up that pod clock to 10 minutes, set some more realistic expectations.
I think you need to check the calibration. Maybe it's not working right. Where'd you buy that thing? Alibaba or eBay or flea market?
I've told you many times it is from there. Anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to sign off of the state of the industry today? Maybe where we're going in Q1 of 2026? Maybe something you're optimistic about?
What I'm optimistic about, and it got missed on here, but Texas Motorcycle Dealers Association. We are meeting second week there in Austin, Texas, too. So TMDA, probably one of the strongest dealer groups in the country, maybe top 3. About 54 members at this point in time. So got a world-class economist coming to speak. I might possibly get up and ramble for a few minutes in front of the group about some things that dealers can do as well. But I'm at least personally, I'm going into 2026 with a pretty good focus and feeling pretty positive about things. Our inventory's gotten to be really clean. I feel like we are doing a good job of managing our vendors and not letting them overstock us with product that we don't need. Hopefully the other good dealers out there are doing that as well. And, I think that, while I've said that I don't think there's going to be a lot of growth in 2026, what is going to happen is that the good dealers and the ones who are kind of focused on running their business, they're going to take market share from the smaller guys. So even if the industry is not growing, there is opportunity to grow your business, but dealers have got to be focused. You got to put all the politics and the news and the other BS on the side and just go to work ready to sell.
Completely agree. Just because all these companies are coming out with their averages and their predictions doesn't mean you can't be well above those averages. What I always say, focus on what's happening in your 4 walls. Maybe pick a department for next year that you really want to explode. Parts and service, just your F&I foothold, and investing in or looking into investing in reinsurance and your reinsurance position. Just pick something that you want to explode, take advantage of, and grow, and you'll be okay. I think you'll be above the trend. Thanks again, Mark. As always, episode 10 is in the books. Look forward to the next one. Who knows what we're going to be talking about? Maybe we'll have someone special on. We'll see you then. Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate you riding with us on Raw and Unscripted. KSU. We'll be back next week with more ways to rev up your dealership success. Until next time, keep the throttle wide open. Wide open.